Like a lot of people my age, the countless nights I've spent hopping on the game with my friends and making memories that will last a lifetime are coming to an end, because this is my last summer before college and there are only 5 more days left until my friends and I start to leave. But I'm not ready to move on, so I'm taking this time to revisit some truly iconic games that shaped my childhood, starting with Risk Global Domination, the game that first got me into making YouTube videos back in 2020.
Colton, riddle me this. What has to be broken before you can use it?
After my friend had finished that stream, I thought it was so funny that I offered to learn how to edit just so we could turn it into a YouTube video. And taking a look at how far I've come since then, it's clear that I owe a lot to this game. So I told my friends I was going to be hosting a $100 Risk tournament and tried to gather as many people as I could for one more night to remember. Fine, you just won't get a chance to win $100.
I don't
The game is simple. Fully claiming continents such as Dragonland or Human Kingdoms earns you more troops per turn. You can then use those troops to attack other players, and with enough strategic planning, you can take over the entire world, or obtain world peace if you want, but I'm personally going to try and win because it is my money on the line. Immediately off spawn, I noticed that I had 3 territories I could use to push into Elf Realm, so I began my advance and moved some of my troops out of other continents, hoping people would go for them instead of Elf Realm. Thankfully, I was also able to secure Southern Trident for an extra 2 troops per turn, but I soon realized that my friends Jacob and Leo weren't even trying to defend themselves from each other, despite the fact that even one attack could ruin either of the claims on their continents. I knew that if they were teaming, I wouldn't be able to win alone, so I moved the troops off my shared border with JD. And while at this moment JD was fully capable of ruining my chances to win, he instead moved his troops elsewhere, which I could only assume meant I had an alliance.
Leo, I need this bottom left of the map, by the way, to be able to trade cards.
Yeah, we can.
It was now very clear that the game had become a 2v2, and since Jacob and Leo were now planning to trade those territories for cards, which gives them an absurd amount of troops by the way, even our spectators knew that JD and I had to make a move if we wanted a chance to win.
Y'all just like fight to the death already on board.
Nah, there's $100 on the line, so we can't start yet.
$100, Chris.
Max, we know you're losing, bro.
I am. I'm in a losing position right now. So, with not a lot of choices left, I made an attempt to wipe out half of Jacob's army and cripple the claim on his continent with just one attack.
No, what?
Oh
you
my
lost.
God.
You're a failure.
What?
You're a failure.
Not gonna lie, that's tragic. I had an 87% chance to win that too, but at least JD would be able to take this opportunity to attack our enemies now that they've been significantly weakened.
Massacre.
Mario.
Alright, after that, it didn't take very long for Jacob to finish the job, and since JD obviously did not survive the 1v2, the game had finally come down to the 2 people that had been teamed from the start. However, despite being the one that was about to lose, Leo asked me a question that made it all too clear what had just happened.
Max, where's the money?
It turned out that Jacob and Leo had agreed to split the prize money from the start, so we all headed out to dinner where I would be able to give each of them their $50. Now, for the record, I do not condone gambling, but we did think it would be pretty fun to spend their earnings on scratch-offs, and after Jacob lost all of his money,
Please. I just won.
something crazy happened.
Oh, 27. Wait. Oh, $50. Oh, I'm even. You're even. That's big. Oh, 12. Another 50. What? Oh my God. $100.
I got 63.
Another 50.
What the?
There's no way you won 150.
Bro, this is the most money we've ever made gaming. Wait,
Wait, I don't know what that means.
does that mean you just won another 50? Bro,
won
$200 card right here.
Wait, what?
You guys know we don't do lottery payout. That's kind of like.
That's okay. That's okay. That's good. That's fine. It's like the gambler's rush. You want to understand.
It seemed to me like I had been successful in my mission to bring everyone together for one last night of fun, but with only 4 more of them left, I realized that time was still running out. So I created a bucket list of things I've been wanting to do since I was a little kid, taking me deeper and deeper into my childhood with every task. To set this plan into motion, I launched the next game, Nidhogg 2. After my cousin had first introduced me to its predecessor, Nidhogg, and taught me how to use my sword, I was instantly hooked. Thus, when the sequel came out in 2017, I remember quickly buying it and breezing through the game. Yet, I had never actually taken the opportunity to try online matchmaking when I was younger. I'd always believed I was pretty good, but now that I had another chance, I was finally going to be able to compare my skills to those of another player, even if the queue took 5 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. Nobody plays this game anymore, do they? That should have been obvious. After all, it is a small indie game from 7 years ago. Games die, technology evolves, and sometimes people just move on. Knowing this, it became clear that going through the rest of my bucket list could end up being a big waste of time. However, I also knew that I couldn't let just one game discourage me from finishing my challenge. So, I logged onto the Roblox game Galaxy and found not just one other person to play with, but a whole server full of active players. Wait, does that say 17 out of 50 people? Oh my gosh, there's like whole teams. Look at that map. Those are all people, and they're like clans. Now, the reason reason why I'm here is actually kind of funny. When I was younger, I used to play on a Roblox account I'd secretly made using my mom's email. And after playing Galaxy and having genuinely no idea what I was doing, I became desperate to get my hands on some Robux so I could speed up my progress. As a result, I decided to sign up for Builders Club one day because I'd heard you could get some free Robux for doing so, and I don't even remember if it ended up working for me because the second I hit register, they sent a confirmation email to my parents. Now, this wouldn't be an issue normally. I could just tell them it was for a game I was playing, but this email contained one piece of information that was going to completely change how my parents reacted to the situation: my Roblox username. I made my really uncommon last name my username on Roblox. Yes, I also know how stupid that is. I had pretty much broken rule number 1 of internet safety, so they made me delete the game and leave behind all the progress I had made towards obtaining one of the best ships in the game, an orca. So now that I'm back this time with a safer username, I'm going to be doing just that. And it looks like I actually have quite a lot of the materials I need to get it, but I'm missing a ton of iridium and most importantly, uranium. Now that's like pretty great for me, but the problem is uranium is like crazy hard to get. I need 1,500 more uranium, and if I were to buy it at the cheapest place, let me pull out my calculator, hold on, I'd be buying it for 53,000 credits. Clearly this was gonna take a while, so without hesitation, I got in my ship and went out searching for uranium. What is that? That's somebody else's ship. They're like right there in front of me. But yeah. Oh, yo, I'm already getting shot at. Bro, I just spawned in. Yo, wait, that ship is dead. All right. As you can tell, it is not the safest out here. What we just saw was an alien, an NPC ship that will attack any player it sees on sight. Though it all happened way too quickly to tell, I just got really lucky. You see, I'm in a mining ship, which doesn't have the necessary weapons to defend itself from aliens. So basically, whoever shot down that alien we just saw saved my life. Now I knew that going too far from my home base with this many aliens on the map could be a death sentence, but I continued to mine anyways because there was no way I could afford to buy the uranium all on my own. A lot of people want uranium in this game just because like it's the most expensive, and if you're trying to make money, then you know, you mine uranium and sell it. Okay, I'm gonna try and make it down to like this bottom right part of the map because as you can see, there's like no one there. Assuming that means that's like pretty much no man's land, there should be uranium. Thankfully, I was right, but when I tried to dump the ores I had just mined back at my base, I found that I didn't actually have any more room to store them. And even worse, I needed all the stuff I currently had stored to build the orca. All right, let me check the mega base. How much is it to upgrade my... Oh! All right, so now I have to get more money because I'm about to spend all my money on a warehouse upgrade. Realizing this, I decided that selling all of the resources I didn't need would be my best bet for making money and freeing up storage. But what I didn't realize was just how rich I was about to become. For now, they'll buy it for 14, and I guess that's good enough. So if I have 1184 Quantium and I only need 18, I can sell 1166 of this. And I am rich again. And with my newfound wealth, I was finally able to buy all the uranium I needed to build the rest of the orca. I just built it. It's stocking over here. Okay, let's see this. Yo, dude, it's taking, I can't even see it. I don't even know what I'm looking at. Bro, what is this thing? Dude, this is insane. What a ship, bro. Finally, after obtaining the orca I had been working this whole time for, I kind of just like took it for a test drive. I don't know, like tried out its lasers. But hey, I mean, at least I got a nice screenshot. I want to get in like a good angle. That's fire. However, when I went to open up the screenshot, I also happened to stumble across another one from not 2015, but rather 4 years ago. Look at this though, I like completely forgot about this. This is like a screenshot I took when I experienced an alien invasion on Galaxy. It's crazy. They actually like messed us up so bad. Look at all those aliens. I'm pretty sure this is like the last time we even came back to this game because we just quit afterwards. At first, I was surprised this screenshot even existed, but soon enough, I realized that this wasn't actually my first time coming back to this game. Revisiting my childhood games is actually something I find myself doing quite often. Taking yourself on nostalgia trips and trying to recreate the fun you had as a kid can sometimes be very comforting. But after everything I'd experienced today, I know now that it never truly works. Though getting an orca was meaningless to me now, I never think it's too late to go back and do things the way you wanted to go back and make things right. And I know that if my younger self could see me now, he'd be proud of me, no matter how silly it may seem. I think if I could travel back in time to tell myself one thing, I'd be like, yeah man, you did it. You finally got an orca, but you just gotta make it to 2024 if you want it. I think I'd find that pretty funny. Then I'd probably just tell myself to invest all my money in the video and get out of there. You know, I can't be messing with the timeline too much. Another one of those games that really symbolizes nostalgia for people around my age is Minecraft. I think the first time I played any video game at all was when I tried to summon Herobrine in Pocket Edition on my iPod Touch. Obviously, this game means quite a lot to me, and I would consider myself lucky because, unlike most people, I still have access to the place where my fascination with Minecraft truly started. A Bedrock Edition world my friend has kept sitting on his hard drive for years. So, with 2 more nights to go, we logged on to revisit a world we had created in middle school.
Honestly, I remember this world being a lot lot cooler back in the day. Dude, like I thought like everything was like decked out, like we had like a really nice world. It's not that nice.
What do you mean? It's so good, Leo.
See,
It
like,
really is. It feels
I'd want to
weird.
start a world again, but like I'd want to do like how we did it before.
Oh my
like, we
god,
played,
Leo.
Like, but like the way that we played this, like we only played like on Friday and Saturdays. That's why this world lasted so long.
That's so
It was just like hopping on with the boys every Friday and Saturday, you know what I mean? Bro, that was gamer night, dude. Remember?
I actually do.
That's crazy.
See, like this is what I wish like we did again. Not now, obviously, because like we can't really do it now. But like I wish the 5 of us, or also like a few others, but like a smaller like server that we all just worked together and only played when we all got on together.
Yeah, it's like not really possible anymore, but
Yeah, like it's not like it was only possible during that time, and that's
Yeah.
why like
that's just like something I'll always cherish, you know?
yeah.
And as we explored further and further, the memories flooded back. Yo, the $10 money sign shift. Oh my gosh. Wait, bro, steampunk. Oh my gosh, steampunk burned down so many times. There's like leaf patching. Oh my gosh, the map. I forgot about this. Let me tell you a story about this building. This was steampunk, a tiny wooden castle I'd built as my base, a base that my friend Colton always thought looked very ugly. Now, Colton was the kind of guy that liked to take matters into his own hands.
Here, take it. Burn the house down.
So he made it his goal to try and burn it down every single weekend. A couple wars were fought, a few bases were built, and countless blocks were repaired over this matter, but in the end, steampunk still stood. No matter how hard he tried, I managed to thwart his attempts every time, and no matter how hard I tried to convince him to stop, he refused to give up. It was as if an immovable object had met an unstoppable force, and as we know, those are just two things that cannot coexist at the same time. Basically, that's just a really complicated way of saying we don't talk anymore, and it's not for any bad reason. We're still friends, we just also happen to be friends that grew apart. I still think though that in our own stubborn way, Colton and I had been one and the same, and even if I couldn't get him online for this moment, I knew that I couldn't close out of this Minecraft world forever with our conflict left unresolved. Sometimes it just takes a little loss to learn to put your pride to the side.
For the video.
It's for the video, bro. Even after how many years?
4, 5, 6.
Who knows? It's still in the back of my mind. I still think about burning steampunk down just like you wanted.
Bro, what?
This guy's like the definition of reliving the glory days. This guy peaked in high school.
Bro, peaked in middle school.
Sorry, peaked in middle school.
With that done, there was only one more task left to complete. My final and hardest challenge, speedrun Castle Crashers. You see, back in the day, I used to have Castle Crashers for the PlayStation 3, and every once in a while, my friend and I would order a pizza, head down to my basement, and play to our heart's content. We loved it, and once we had graduated to computers, we even did a stream of ourselves speedrunning it. Now, I don't want to brag or anything, but our time did land us in 44th place on the leaderboards, out of 46. And it wasn't because we were bad, rather, it was because I used to have a horrible internet connection, and when one person starts lagging on Castle Crashers, everyone freezes.
Way to go, Max.
You're welcome.
So, seeing as our previous time had ended up being 3 hours, I knew that it couldn't be too hard to beat. My only problem though was that time had finally caught up to me. There was only one day left before we started leaving for college, and my old squad just couldn't fit one more speedrun into their schedule. But at the last minute, JD and Leo joined me to cross the final thing off my bucket list. Not just speedrun, but beat our Castle Crashers time.
I don't have a bow.
You do? Are you sure? Show me right now. What? Fine, I guess you don't have a bow. This was not an amazing start. The first step to completing any Castle Crasher speedrun is knowing how to juggle enemies. It's an easy technique to learn. You simply press light attack, heavy attack, heavy attack, but when timed perfectly, it can indefinitely combo lock your target. Due to all those nights spent in my basement, we were experts. But being down a player, it was questionable whether or not we could make up for the lost efficiency.
Because I'm really not good at this game.
Nonetheless, we were still making pretty good time. However, while playing through some nostalgic levels, my teammates just so happened to choose the one that you can't be revived on to die. Dude, JD, you're literally a bot. If I lost now, we would have added a significant amount of time to our run making it back to this boss battle. But thankfully, I was able to clutch it up, and while it was stressful, I was glad I'd been given the opportunity to prove I could help the team more than I can slow them down. And as we played on into the night, we were able to maintain a pretty good pace. So as a result, the conversation grew more and more lighthearted with each passing level. Eventually, we even stopped giving callouts altogether, instead turning our discussion to our plans for our upcoming freshman semesters. Leave him alone! Let him breathe! Let him breathe!
No mercy for the weak.
He's dead! He's dead!
I have to make sure.
JD, do you think you're gonna try and find a roommate next year for college instead of just going random?
You don't like your roommate right now?
I have 6. Actually, I have 5. But yeah, judging from like what they were doing what they were talking about in the like group chat someone made, I'm nothing like them. So like we're probably not gonna be friends.
Up until this point, our run was going pretty smoothly, but around halfway through the campaign, upon entering a level in which we had to fight our way through a spaceship, I encountered a bug that is widely regarded as unfixable. And the worst part is, I didn't even realize it. Yo, you guys are trolling. You guys are trolling. Get over here. Get over here.
Why?
Bro, what do you mean why? We gotta go this way.
What is happening right now?
We gotta go right. We gotta go right.
We are going right.
Max is lagging, bro.
Yeah, Max, what are you talking about?
Max, just keep going, bro. Just keep going.
JD, you're trolling me. JD, you're trolling me.
Max, you're selling.
Stop saying me.
No, but like JD was stuck in the back. He was the reason we weren't advancing.
No, bro.
No, you're actually gaslighting me. You're actually gaslighting me.
You're lagging, Max.
I'm not lagging. I'm not lagging.
See how you're more to the left than me?
Max, run!
Yo, this is not funny. This is not funny. We gotta go.
God.
We gotta go.
Are you gaslighting us?
By now, we were all going completely insane, unsure of who was playing a joke on who. I knew that if we didn't end this soon, our speedrun time was going to take a hit. So I did what I had to do and folded, agreeing to watch Leo stream what his screen looked like.
Max, you know you're the Orange Knight, right?
I am the Orange Knight.
The Orange Knight.
I am the Orange Knight.
Max, I'm getting off the game.
No, hold on. I gotta kill the enemies and then I can look at the stream.
Max, I swear to God, I'm gonna get off the game right now.
Dude, I have to. What are you talking about?
Max, Max, I swear to God, I'm getting off. I'm so serious.
Bro. Alright, I'm timing out. I'm looking at a stream. Wait, what?
Stop, bro.
No.
Stop.
No.
God.
This can't be possible. This can't be possible.
God.
Yo, we gotta restart the lobby. We gotta restart the lobby.
Stream, because I can't tell if you're gaslighting me.
This shouldn't be possible.
What the
Bro. It turned out that our games had been desynced from each other for the past 10 minutes. Only we hadn't been able to tell because while JD and Leo were playing an entirely separate game than me, we were all still controlling our players' actions in each other's games. I honestly don't even understand how this works, but with enough tries, we were able to correctly sync our games up and continue the speedrun after 40 minutes of failing to do so. So at this point, it was 2 AM, so late that I'd begun whispering so as to not wake up my parents. The odds were already stacked against us, and now, because of me, things had become even worse. It had been my internet that ruined our run before, and it was my game that had been desynced from the rest of the group now. I mean, don't get me wrong, we did try to salvage the run, but we just weren't good enough. Our final time ended up being 4 hours long, and it was then that we realized that it was officially over. From now on, there would be no more late night gaming sessions with each other. We had failed the speedrun, and on that note, our childhood had come to a close. Clearly, it was possible that I'd never be able to do all the things I wanted to do as a kid, and it could even be that this whole experience wasn't going to do anything to help me move on. But deep down, I knew that maybe I still had one more chance tonight to make that younger version of me proud. I'm really glad we got that in, like, I don't know, it's probably like the last time we're gonna all play together. Like, there's just no guarantees now, you know?
Yeah.
Why are you guys going left? Whoa. I have something I've been meaning to tell you guys. I like really have to try not to cry when I say this.
What?
Okay.
I'm scared.
Dude, I've been like so sad about like everyone leaving.
Yeah.
We met like the summer between like 5th and 6th grade, right, JD?
Yeah.
I didn't really like tell anyone this ever, but I tried to keep myself that summer, and like obviously no one knew or anything, so just kind of like picked myself up and planned to do it again later. But then, you know, I met you guys. It was just like a lot of night that, especially like a gamer night, I don't know, having like that Friday to look forward to, you know, after enough gamer nights, I guess like I just stopped planning to, you know, it was just something to look forward to like every week. So, you know, it just like means a lot to me. And I really love you guys a lot.
Oh. Love you too, man.
This will probably be my final video as GameMAXster. Thank you for watching me grow up.